What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Hey. Talk to me. Hey, what's up, chat? Welcome back to another daily One Year Barber stream. Today is June the 10th for us because we're 2 days early. Because we started 2 days early. Yeah, it's funny to keep saying that, to be honest. Because we started 2 days early, right? Today's day 161 in a row. We're getting there, almost halfway. We're getting pretty close to halfway now. Today we're reading from June the 10th, though. We're 2 days early. And let's go over the verses we're going to be reading today. So we're going to read it from 1 Kings 7, 1 through 51. We're going to follow up Kings with Acts 7:30 through 50. And then Psalms 28, 1 through 6. And then Proverbs 16, 31 through 33 to wrap up today. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you. And without further ado, let's get into today's read. So 1 Kings 7, 1 through 51. So Solomon also built a palace for himself, and it took him 13 years to complete the construction. One of Solomon's buildings was called the Palace of the Forest of Lebanon. It was 150 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. There were 4 rows of set of pillars, and great set of beams rested on the pillars. The hall had a set of roof. Above the beams on the pillars were 45 side rooms, arranged in 3 tiers of 15 each, and on each end of the long hall were 3 rows of windows facing each other. All the doorways and doorposts had rectangular frames and were arranged in sets of 3 facing each other. Solomon also built the hall of pillars, which was 75 feet long and 45 feet wide. There was a porch in front, along with a canopy supported by pillars. Solomon also built the throne room, known as the Hall of Justice, where he sat to hear legal matters. It was paneled with cedar from floor to ceiling, and Solomon's living quarters surrounded a courtyard behind this hall, and they were constructed the same way. He also built similar living quarters for Pharaoh's daughter, whom he had married. From foundation to eaves, all these buildings were built from huge blocks of high-quality stone, cut with saws and trimmed to the exact measures on all sides. Some of the huge foundation stones were 15 feet long, and some were 12 feet long. The blocks of high-quality stone used in the walls were also cut to measure, and cedar beams were also used. The walls of the great courtyard were built so that they were 1 layer of cedar beams between every 3 layers of finished stone, just like the walls of the inner courtyard of the Lord's temple, with its entry room. King Solomon then asked for a man named Huram to come from Tyre. He was half Israelite, since his mother was a widow from the tribe of Naphtali, and his father had been a craftsman. What's up, Andy? How you doing? What's up, Dart? I'm reading the Bible. I'm reading from 1 Kings 7, 1 through 51. We're doing a 1 year Bible read, and this is day 161. Appreciate the likes. Huram was extremely skilled and talented in any work in bronze, and he came to do all the metal work for King Solomon. Huram cast 2 bronze pillars, each 27 feet tall and 18 feet in circumference. For the tops of the pillars, he cast bronze capitals, each 7.5 feet tall. Yep, day 161 in a row. Each capital was decorated with 7 sets of lattice work and interwoven chains. He also encircled the lattice work with 2 rows of pomegranates to decorate the capitals over the pillars. The capitals on the columns inside the entry room were shaped like water lilies, and they were 6 feet tall. The capitals on the 2 pillars had 200 pomegranates in 2 rows around them, beside the rounded surface, next to the lattice work. Huram set the pillars at the entrance of the temple, one toward the south and one toward the north. King James Version. Nerd is funny. My uncle used to call me a nerd when I was a kid, but he said, he would always say, but nerds make money. So it's cool that you're a nerd. It's pretty funny. He also encircled lattice work at 2 rows. I just read this. Got over the pillars. The capitals of columns inside entry room were shaped like water lilies and were 6 feet tall. The capitals on the two pillars had 200 pomegranates in 2 rows around them, beside the rounded surface, next to the lattice work. Huram set the pillars at the entrance of the temple, one toward the south and one toward the north. He named the one on the south Jachin and the one on the north Boaz. The capitals on the pillars were shaped like water lilies, and so the work on the pillars was finished. Then Huram cast a great round basin, 50 feet across from rim to rim, called the sea. It was 7.5 feet deep and about 45 feet in circumference. It was encircled just below its rim by 2 rows of decorative gourds. They were about 6 gores per foot, all the way around, and they were cast as part of the basin. The sea was placed on the base of 12 bronze oxen, all facing outward. 3 faced north, 3 faced west, and 3 faced south, and 3 faced east. And the sea rested on them. The walls of the sea were about 3 inches thick, and its rim flared out like a cup and resembled a water lily blossom. It could hold about 1,100 gallons of water. Hiram also made 10 bronze water carts, each 6 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 4.5 feet tall. They were constructed with the side panels braced with the crossbars in both the panels. And how you doing? He ain't your personal time. It's really funny. How you doing walking tours with us? Both the panels and the crossbars were decorated and carved lions, oxen, and cherubim. Above and below the lions and oxen were wreath decorations. Each of these carts had 4 bronze wheels and bronze axles. They were supporting posts for the bronze basins at the corners of the carts. These supports were decorated on each side with carvings of wreaths. The top of each cart had a rounded frame for the basin. It projected 1.5 feet above the cart's top like a round pedestal, and its opening was 2.5 feet across. It was decorated on the outside with carvings of wreaths. The panels of the carts were squared, not round. Under the panels were four wheels that were connected to axles that had been cast as one unit with the cart. The wheels were 2.5 feet in diameter and were similar to chariot wheels. The axle spokes, rims, and hubs were all cast from molten bronze. There were handles at each of the 4 corners of the carts, and these too were cast as one unit with the cart. Around the top of each cart was a rim 9 inches wide, and the corner supports and side panels were cast as one unit with the cart. Carvings of the cherubims, lions, and palm trees decorated the panels and corner supports wherever there was room, and there were wreaths all around. All 10 water carts were the same size and were made alike, for each was cast from the same mold. Hiram also made 10 smaller bronze basins, one for each cart. Each basin was 6 feet across and could hold 220 gallons of water. He set 5 carts on the south side of the temple and 5 on the north side. The great bronze basin called the sea was placed near the southeast corner of the temple. He also made the necessary wash basins, shovels, and bowls. So at last Hiram completed everything King Solomon had assigned to him to make for the temple of the Lord. The 2 pillars, the 2 bowls shaped like capitals on the top of the pillars, the 2 networks of interwoven chains that decorated the capitals, the 400 pomegranates that hung from the chains on the capitals, 2 rows of pomegranates for each chain, networks that decorated the capitals on the top of the pillars, the 10 water carts holding the 10 basins, the sea and the 12 oxen under it, the ash buckets, the shovels, and the bowls. Hiram made all these things of burnished bronze for the temple of the Lord, just as King Solomon had directed. The king had them cast in clay molds in the Jordan Valley between Succoth and Zarethan. Solomon did not weigh all these things because there were so many. The weight of the bronze could not be measured. Solomon also made all the furnishings of the temple of the Lord: the gold altar, the gold table for the bread of the presence, the lampstands of solid gold, 5 on the south and 5 on the north, in front of the most holy place, the flower decorations, lamps, and tongues, all of gold, the small bowls, lamp snuffers, bowls, ladles, and incense burners, all of solid gold, the doors for the entrances to the most holy place in the main room of the temple, with their fronts overlaid with gold. So King Solomon finished all his work on the temple of the Lord. Then he brought all his gifts to his father, David, and dedicated the silver, the gold, and the various articles, and he stored them in the treasuries of the Lord's temple. What's good with you, Rockstar? Welcome to the chat, bro. We're reading the 1 Year Bible in day 161 in a row. So now we're going to read Acts 7:30 through 50. So Stephen continued. 40 years later, in the desert near Mount Sinai, an angel appeared to Moses in the flame of a burning bush. When Moses saw it, he was amazed at the sight. As he went to take a closer look, the voice of the Lord called out to him, "I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Moses shook with terror and did not dare to look. Then the Lord said to him, "Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their groans and have come down to rescue them. Now go, for I am sending you back to Egypt." So God sent back the same man his people had previously rejected when they demanded, "Who made you ruler and judge over us?" Through the angel who appeared to him in the burning bush, God sent Moses to be their ruler and savior. And by means of many wonders and miraculous signs, he led them out of Egypt through the Red Sea and through the wilderness for 40 years. Moses himself told the people of Israel, God will raise you up for a prophet like me. Raise up for you a prophet like me from among your own people. Moses was with our ancestors, the assembly of God's people in the wilderness, when the angel spoke to him at Mount Sinai. And there Moses received life-giving words to pass on to us. But our ancestors refused to listen to Moses. They rejected him and wanted to make a return to Egypt. They told Aaron, make us some gods who can lead us, for we don't know what has become of this Moses, who has brought us out of Egypt. So they made an idol shaped like a calf, and they sacrificed to it and celebrated over this thing they had made. Then God turned away from them and abandoned them to serve the stars of heaven as their gods. In the book of the prophets it was written, was it to me you were bringing your sacrifices and offerings during those 40 years in the wilderness, Israel? No, you carried your pagan gods, the shrine of Molech, the star of your god Rephath, and the images you made to worship them. So I will send you into exile as far away as Babylon. Our ancestors carried the tabernacle with them through the wilderness. It was constructed according to the plan God had shown to Moses. And years later, when Joshua led our ancestors in battle against the nations that God drove out of this land, the tabernacle was taken with them into their new territory. And it stayed there until the time of King David. David found favor with God and asked for the privilege of building a permanent temple for God of Jacob. But it was Solomon who actually built it. However, the Most High doesn't live in temples made by human hands, as the prophet says. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Could you build me a temple as good as that? Ask the Lord, could you build me such a resting place? Did in my hands make both heaven and earth? And now, chat, we're going to read Psalms 128, 1 through 6. Now, how joyful are those who fear the Lord, all who follow his ways. You will enjoy the fruit of your labor, how joyful and prosperous you will be. Your wife will be like a fruitful grapevine, flourishing within your home. Your children will be like vigorous young olive trees, as they sit around your table. That is the Lord's blessing for those who fear him. May the Lord continually bless you from Zion. May you see Jerusalem prosper as long as you live, and may you live to enjoy your grandchildren. May Israel have peace. And now Proverbs 16, 31 to 33. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained by living a godly life. Better to be patient than powerful. Better to have self-control than to conquer a city. We may throw dice, but the Lord determines how we fall. How you doing, Ash? And now, work inside. Work inside. Work inside. The wisest king understood what was of greatest value. He had it all. It appears he could acquire whatever he desired or needed. Yet he writes in Proverbs that patience is of far greater value than power. You may not have wielded power like this, but having experienced tremendous power, Solomon tells us patience is better. And rather than conquer a city, we need to conquer ourselves and develop self-control. It is counterintuitive for us to conquer what is inside us, but we know the wisest man was right. And now, chat, I'm going to turn off this camera and ask for clarity, wisdom, and discernment of today's word, and I'll be right back. Okay, chat, now let's talk about what we read today. Jeez, it's just a lot of pages. We read a lot. I'm flipping through these pages. We're making our way, I'm not gonna lie. But let's go over the verses we read today. So we read from 1 Kings 7, 1 through 51. We followed up 1 Kings with Acts 7:30 through 50, and then Psalms 128, 1 through 6, and Proverbs 16:31 through 33 to wrap up today's read. So let's go over a couple things really quickly. So Proverbs 16:31 through 33. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained by living a godly life. Better to be patient than powerful. Better to have self-control than to conquer a city. We may throw dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. And there's a couple things. We're going to talk about Acts as well, Acts 7:30 through 50. When you remember your history, you don't make the same mistakes, right? That's this big thing that Stephen is doing here. When he's retelling the story, retelling history. When you remember your history, right, and you don't act like it didn't happen, then you don't make the same mistakes, right? Or you can better navigate to not make the same mistakes. That's a really good thing that Stephen did here. And if you, when you read this, you notice it, right? He's retelling the story about the good and the bad things that happened, right? The good and the bad things that happened, just so we don't make the same mistakes in the future, right? And what was one of the mistakes that they made, right? The Israelites who were traveling, they made these false gods, right? They worship all these random things. They worship all these random things that don't deserve your worship, right? And that's a good thing for us to remember today in these times. Don't create false gods and don't start worshiping random things. And don't start worshiping random things. It's funny, but it's not funny. I mean, it's crazy. But it's so much stuff out here nowadays, right? It really is just so much information nowadays. It really is a lot of information out nowadays, right? There's a lot of different things to go about it. There's a lot of, but those things, these random things, they don't like give you power. They don't. It's not even power. They don't. They strip you of what you naturally have. You know, they strip you of what you naturally have, right? It's like a kid who looks up to their dad. If you look up to God, right, and you look up to like God, right, and just like a kid will look up to his dad, right? Then you know you can do all things, right? It wouldn't even be a question in your mind that you can do all things, right? And that's one of the things of creating these false limited gods, right? Who are limited in their abilities, right? That's your new dad to look up to, technically, you know, or your new mom to look up to, whatever you want to say here, right? But that's who you look up to. So whatever their cap is going to be your cap. You won't surpass. You won't really surpass them for real, because that's like your cap, you know. So there's really a lot of reasons to not create these random things to worship. To be honest, don't like worshiping like the stars or the sun or a planet or something that's finite. You know, there's no reason to worship these finite things, right? You know, because they're limiting. They will limit you. Even if you don't realize it, they will limit what you can become. They create shackles, and you don't realize you have all these shackles until you have a mental breakdown in the future. But you feel me? But like they they create shackles, you know, and that's why you don't. You know, if you really want to if you want to use not even use anything, but if you want a good example of why not to do that, it's because those limited gods that you create, those limited beings, those limited deities, you worship them, you look up to them, right? But that puts a cap on you. That'll literally put a cap on your abilities. That puts a cap on things you're able to accomplish, right? It's just like being a kid and looking up to your parents. That's why you want to be a great parent to your kids. You want to show your kids that you can do all things. When your kid is looking up to you, you don't want to falter in front of your child, right? You want to be a good parent right in front of your kid or whatever, or set a good example for your child, because they look up to you and they cap themselves a lot of times based on the parent, right? Now, if your parent, your true parent that you know of is God, and you know God can do all things, then you don't have any caps, There is no caps. We gotta get him because he almost left the caps lock on. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. But yeah, you know, you don't have any caps. There's no caps at that point. And but that's one of the big reasons to not create these random gods, these random deities, and these random things to worship, or to worship none of these random things around here, or to worship none of these random things around here, or to really delve too deeply into like all these trinkets or physical things out here. They're all limited things. They're all finite. It's why you don't worship these things. You don't give those things, you know, your creativity. There we go. We don't give those things your creativity, because you're just creating you know, a limited life at that point. So if you want my advice, you know, I wouldn't create none of this stuff. I wouldn't create none of this stuff, you know. I really just wouldn't create any of this stuff. It's just not, it's not valuable. It's not valuable. You know, it's just not valuable. It doesn't really have any value. And you know, that's really just it. It just really doesn't have any value to it. It's limiting, so it doesn't have any value. Yeah. So yeah, if you want my advice, don't create these guys. Don't create or believe any of these other things, or believe any of these other things. You believe in, you know, the one who can do all things, makes anything possible, and then you always believe that anything is possible. You know, and then you live your life. You don't have to second guess it. You don't have to think twice about it. You just know it's possible. It's anything is possible. But if you if you believe in all these other ones who don't want you to believe anything's possible, because you created them, and your creativity and your judgments that you gave them to be able to judge you with will limit you. The ability you gave them to judge you will limit you. That's entails, it really does show why not to create other gods or things to worship, because you'll create them as judges in your life, and then they'll limit you, you know. Like, even if you like, I meet a lot of funny people, but they're not funny. They're interesting folks, definitely, for sure. But you know, when they have all these different deities they believe in and stuff, or they be having, you know, these random, right? I be talking to them, right? I be talking to them, and then I'm like, yo, you know, like how do you feel, like, when that's around you, right? Barber, what about you, goofball? Like, how do you feel when, you know, you're talking to these random deities you believe in? And then they're telling me all these stories, and as I'm listening to the stories, it's like you created a lot of judges in your life. You created a lot of judges that that are forcing you to do all these random things. You know, you created a judge in your life that is forcing you to do a whole bunch of random stuff. Yeah, for sure. You be flicking me up, bro. I'm gonna have the slide for a new one though. The fade needs to be a little crispified. The fade needs to get crispified a little bit, you know. But I'm gonna hit you up probably like Tuesday for a new cut, you know. Yeah, and it's honestly from the perspective of a human perspective. We love, but we also judge at the same time, right? So if a human creates a god, then it's gonna be a god of judgment. It's gonna be a god of conditional love with judgment attached to it. You know, I give you a low taper. I need a low. You know, I really need the low drop fade. That's usually what I get. You know, if you can flip me up again, give me the low drop fade one more time, I'd appreciate that. You know. Also, can you push the size in, bro? Like last time you left me, I was like a cop. You know, you left my size up too high, bro. I was walking around. I was like, dang, I look like a cop right now. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, um, but yeah, honestly, if you really sit on it at all whatsoever, if you sit on it at all whatsoever, and you think about these random other gods you hear people talking about, or their deities that you hear people talk about, they're just they're judgment figures in these people's lives. They're judgment figures in these people's lives who are who conditionally love them. Conditionally, I didn't say unconditionally. I said conditionally. Conditionally love them. They only love them when they're doing what they want them to do. You know, and that's why I won't believe in them. It'd be $5, appreciate it. And that's why I refuse to believe in those things. You know, no disrespect to those people or whatever they're doing over there, but I refuse to believe in those things because I do not need random things judging me for life. David is cool. What's good with you, David? How you doing? I do not need no random deities judging me for how I live my life. You know, so I refuse to believe in stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. I refuse that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I have to go, bro. See you, bro. I'm gonna play basketball at the park. Hey, yo, hoop up. I need about. If y'all play the 10, I need 3 points and 2 assists at least. 3 points, 2 assists. Gotta be a team player, bro. What's up? Welcome back, David. But yeah, if you really sit on it for any time at all whatsoever, you can see that these deities that these people create, they're just judgment figures. I see you. If you're the Funko Pop collector, you know, you see me. You see me. You see me. My mom got me this one. You see me. You know. You see me. Hold up. You see me. Yeah. I even got a case for this one. This is crazy. Having a case for this is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But it came with a case, so I was like, shoot, might as well. It came with a case, so I said, might as well. You know, see you later, bro. So yeah, if you want to ask me, I refuse to believe in those things. I'm not gonna lie. No disrespect to people who believe in that stuff, but I refuse to believe in random deities that judge me and then conditionally love me only if I do what they want me to do. I refuse that. I refuse to believe in anything that tries to make me live like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, you know, so I believe in God. God unconditionally loves me. He not out here judging me crazy. When I make mistakes, he corrects my path. You feel me? He don't sit over here and, you know, make me feel bad about everything. I get to smile every day, you know. you know, and when I'm making mistakes, he not trying to punish me. He shows me like another way to how to move forward, right? So like I'm like, yeah, I'm a believe in God, bro, because you know whenever I talk to people who believe in those other things, you know, they've been a lot of pain all the time, and it's like I don't know, I don't understand that, but it's not for me to understand, to be honest. Now, but let's keep going. But that's from Acts 7:30 through 50. So that was Stephen going over the history of the Israelites and how they did make those false gods and how they did then they became limited. Their whole God was blessing them crazy, bringing them through all this. Bro, open the seas for buddies. You know, even if it's not literal, even if it isn't literal, even if it's metaphorical. If somebody splits the seas for you, that means they opened up your path. You feel me? So, you know, and then they still went to go worship a calf, an animal outside. That's crazy. Is that not crazy to think about? You know, I play basketball inside the house. Inside the house, crazy. I got a mini hoop, so I feel you. I got a mini hoop, but my dogs, my boys, they pop my basketballs. So can't mini hoop no more right now. You know, but then they go when they go worship like animals outside. You know, it's crazy. I mean, animals is cool and all, but I'm not finna worship no animal. That's insane. You know, you cool. I respect you. I love you. G, you here with me. You know, I'm gonna respect you because God put you here with me. You feel me? But I'm not finna worship you. I'm not finna do that. You know, so to me that don't make no sense. You know, so I'm not finna do that. You know, uh, yeah. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing though. I don't want it to come off as rude, but I'm just not gonna do that. That's just not something I'm gonna do. Um, but they did all this stuff for them, right? Do you know Funko actually made a website so you can actually make yourself a Funko Pop? Ooh, that'd be fire. How do you send it to me? I'll get a PO box. Hold on, let me get a PO box or something. It's called Pop Yourself. I don't think I want to do that. That seems pretty cool. You know, that seems pretty cool. That seems pretty cool. I might just do that. It's just like a website I can go to. That'd be pretty cool. A Funko Pop of me is crazy. They got to get the forehead right though. They got to scale the forehead correctly. If they give me a fat forehead on my Funko Pop, I'm gonna be hot. They have to scale the forehead correctly. You know, it's a basketball card. Ooh, you know what's crazy? I'm gonna open these right here. Well, I don't know where they went, actually. I don't know where they went. Oh, my book fell. Oops. One second. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. I'm gonna open these on the channel here shortly. Oh, there we go. But I got these from a random card shop when I was in North Carolina. You know, these two. So, and I got them for a crazy good price, $3. Literally the $2 right here. You feel me? Tell me your address. No, you're not. I'm not giving you my address, buddy. I'm not giving you my address. That's insane. I'm not gonna lie. It's insane. I'm gonna make a PO box or something. And they recently collapsed with Deadpool and Wolverine. They have like a Deadpool dog. You can dress yourself up as Deadpool. Wolverine. I think it's over now. I don't know. Oh, it was probably promo for the movie. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, I like Funko Pops. I think they're pretty creative. I think they're pretty cool. I like them. I have a considerable. I had an even more considerable amount of them. I sold a lot of them because I just wanted to declutter my space. I just had too much stuff. So I was like, I need to get rid of a lot of these. A lot of these I don't even, like, like even look at. They're not even the cool ones. I just bought them because they were cool to me at the time. I should like sell these or something. So that's what I did. They were just taking up space, and I needed to clean up. you know. But back to what we were talking about from Acts 7:30 through 50. So yeah, there we go. So it's a lot of crazy stuff happening nowadays, right? It's a lot of stuff on the internet, right? So it's a whole lot of things on the internet, chat. So I want you guys to remember to not be like the Israelite people when they were leaving Egypt, right? God had done so many amazing things for them, right? And then they still went to go serve somebody else. They went to go try to serve somebody else still, right? They went to go try to create a different God still, right? Do not do that, please. Do not do that, please. It's just a limiting belief. You will just create limiting beliefs in your life. You will create a limiting God who only judges you with conditional love if you create a false God. It will be made from a human perspective, which will only be limiting belief and conditional love, because humans didn't create God. Humans didn't create God, So if you try to create a God, it's just going to be a judgmental, limiting belief, conditional loving God, And I do not want that for anybody. You feel me? I don't want that for anybody, right? You feel me? So, bad. I get a 10% discount. What's my email? Why you want my email, goofball? I don't understand this. You feel me? But, yeah. Definitely. Cause ain't no point. Ain't no point in that other stuff. It ain't even real. Humans just have incredible creative ability, and you know, that's it. That's it. We have an incredible amount of creative ability, but that stuff is not real. Like you can make a 1 pack or 2 pack, like make a 1 pack of yourself and make 2 pack. Like you put yourself and a loved one of your best friends as a Funko Pop. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be like a cool Valentine's Day gift. It'd be like a cool Valentine's Day gift, for sure. Oh, you know, I'm talking to Goofball. Goofball is asking for my. What's up with you? When X plays. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the chat, bro. Um, and then Proverbs 16:31 through 33. I'm just gonna say this one more time. Just don't go looking for nobody else help, but God, bro. I'm just reiterating this one more time, like for everybody in the chat, just one more time. What's my email? You can't send it to me through my email, bro. I don't know what you mean by that. I'll make a PO box and I'll let you know. I'll get a PO box and then I'll let you know. I'm doing pretty good, bro. Um, uh, oh man, it's funny. But yeah, like I was just saying though, you know, I really lost my train of thought. But just don't make no fake guys, bro. They're just not. They're just not cool. It's just not worth it. Learn from other people's mistakes is one of the easiest things you can do in life. Is learn from somebody else's mistakes. You see how the Israelites hold themselves at that time. Did them own selves dirty by doing this. You know, so please don't do that. Learn from their mistakes and don't do the same. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. There's a lot of things that are trying to persuade you on the internet nowadays. There's a lot of persuasion on the internet nowadays. I almost said Asian persuasion, but it's it's pop random. It was just funny, but but there's a lot of things on the internet that try to persuade you nowadays. And I am also not somebody for you to look up to either. I'm just somebody else on the internet. You feel me? You know. Um, I'm also gonna try to make sure I do that. Make sure I iterate that to my kids whenever I do have my children. You feel me? Hey, I'm your dad and all, and yes, you do respect me, little. You feel me? But hey, if I'm not the end all be all. There's somebody greater than me, right? Who you need to look up to, so that you always know you can do all things. And that's one thing I'm gonna make sure I iterate to my kids when I have them. Hey, I'm your dad. You gonna respect me? You feel me? Definitely. It's no questions. It's answer buts. You feel me? That's funny. But you know, um, I'm not the end all be all. You feel me? Um, there's somebody greater than me, and that's who you need to look up to, because that one, the one that's greater than me, will always remind you you can do all things. Um, for sure. That's one thing I want to make sure I make sure my kids take in. Yeah, for sure. Okay, but let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Proverbs 16:31 through 33. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It gets gained by living a godly life. Better be patient than powerful. Better to have self-control than to conquer a city. We may throw dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. Um, you feel me? Wisdom, growing wise with age. What was your reaction to GTA 6 got delayed? It got delayed? Oh, I mean, that's funny. It got delayed. I don't play GTA, and I do not care. But I have homies who have been waiting on this game. Oh my goodness. I play GTA RP though. GTA RP is mad fun, but I do not play GTA. My mom and my sister plays GTA though. I feel like we talked about this before. I do not play GTA. I never saw the point in running around aimlessly. I didn't grow up with video games. The only game I ever really played was Gears of War. I didn't grow up with video games, and um, wow, that's crazy. But so like I don't really have like a natural like love for video games, you know, because if I got in trouble, my mom would just take my game system. And I didn't get a game system until I was like 16 anyways. You know, I didn't get my first game system until I was like 15, 14, 15. I was in high school when I got my first game system. So, you know, and the only game system I got before that was a game system my homies gave me. It was a GameCube that they took from somebody else to give me for my birthday. They, you know, so like, and who was playing the GameCube? For real. Oh man, for real. You know, so yeah. I never really like grew like a love for video games or an attachment for video games. I play every once in a while. Um, but, you know, what John? I'm going to visit John Cena at the Fan Expo. Oh, that's fire, Dave. That's fire, bro. John Cena. Oh, I love. You should love WWE. But if we talk about anything, WWE was my childhood, boy. WWE was my childhood. I'm not gonna lie. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown versus Raw. You know, that was my childhood right there, boy. I'm telling you, that was my childhood right there. Uh, I had a boy watching wrestling with the homies. Yeah, for sure. That was my childhood, boy. That was fun. That was fun, boy. My favorite wrestler was Batista. Boy, I used to try to Batista bomb the homies. Bro, injuring the homies or the Undertaker. Like dropping a homie on his head is crazy. Or the RKO, bro. Randy Orton. He was like the evil menace, bro. But like, you can't lie. The RKO was a clean move. You know, RKO was a clean move, bro. You could do RKO anywhere. You might not even hurt nobody with the RKO. You know, you could break somebody's neck though. But I mean, you're not that likely to hurt nobody with the RKO. You know. I goof. Oh man. The 13th game, but it got shut down because the movie producer said sued. Oh, that's tough. Friday the 13th game. Oh, I remember that game. I played that for a little bit. I played it for a little. I played that for a little bit. Goofball, I cannot give you my email. I don't even have an email address to give you. I only have one email that has nothing to do with me, and it's literally just for YouTube. You know. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even have an email to give you, bro. I don't even have an email to give you, bro. What I really grew up the most of doing as a kid though was like technology. I spent most of my time like learning about technology as a kid. That was like my favorite thing to do when I was little. I would spend hours and hours and hours, like in days at a time, learning about different types of technology. I'll do that. That's what I would do all day. I would spend hours and hours and hours and days and days and days learning about technology. That's really what I would do all the time. But let's finish this verse real quick so we can finish up our Wayne Bubbery today. For 1 second, it's crazy. Nah, I don't know if that's possible, bro. But gray hair is a crown of glory, right? It's the wisdom you gain through life, you know? It's gained by living a godly life, right? Wisdom comes from God, you feel me? So better be patient and powerful. Patience is always necessary. I already have a VR. It's upstairs. I have a VR. I had the first Oculus that came out. Um, nah, because I feel like you're trying to time out David, bro. You're trying to time out David, bro. David ain't do nothing to you. It's the Oculus. I have the first Oculus that came out. Um, yeah. Whoever says hi gets timed out for 10 seconds is crazy. Hey, listen. We will not be just abusing our power. A game called Gorilla Tag that you have to swing your arms to move, but they shut down the service request. You can only play with users. Only has a quest one. Oh, okay. Oh, that's tough though. That's tough. Well, you know, that's a crazy game. You really think about it, that's a crazy game. It's a crazy game title. It's a crazy game in general. Oculus games are so random, bro. Like VR games are so random. You know, like have you do you play VR games, bro? Quest 2 was only $300. Yeah, it's not really that. I just fell out of a chair. It's not, they're really not that bad comparatively to game consoles. How much game consoles cost nowadays? You know, or buying a gaming laptop or a high performance computer. It's really not, they're really not that expensive comparatively to how much things cost nowadays for real. I remember you can get like it was like $200 for a console back in the days, like the main PlayStation and Xboxes. Bro, they're like $300-400 now. Oh yeah, here we go. Better be patient than powerful. Patience is always key. Um, Power can corrupt, but patience, it doesn't corrupt. You know, power can corrupt you. Um, that's why it's better to have self-control than to conquer a city, because power can corrupt. You know, power is something that's not for everybody. Um, Everybody has power, but power is not something for everybody to have. Um, because power is not a thing; it's a mind. It's like an entity in its own. Power is like an entity in its own thing, right? Um, and it definitely can corrupt. Yeah, for sure. It like it change your perspective on the world and life around you. But patience, it doesn't do that. Patience does not corrupt. You know, um, I ain't saying never do anything, never don't move, but uh, patience is something to definitely, if you're find yourself being an impatient person, definitely spend time just sitting, being still, being and enjoying yourself, and being patient and not trying to rush things, right? Because it's better to have self control than any of the other stuff, because power will have you doing this and this and that, definitely for real, and it'll have you trying to flex for no reason, you know. Trying to do something extremely fast that you're not ready for, you know. That's these are things that, you know, like sometimes when you're not ready for power, um you know, it it'll have you doing things you're not ready for. When you're not ready for power, it's funny how they plays into each other. It'll really have you doing things you're not ready for. um but patience, you're not in a rush to go do anything. um you watch the waterfall. You feel me? um Yeah, a patient person is, they're not rushing, you know, to conquer anything. You know, the image really begins to, you know, be showed to a patient person, because they're not in a rush. They go do something they're not ready for. You know, so um, remember, power can definitely corrupt, and a lot of people aren't ready for power, right? Um, Now we all do have power, definitely, but um, a mind that's not ready for power is just gonna do some crazy stuff with it. You know, you hit your head on the mini fridge. Oh, dang, that stuff. Yes, I do actually play this game called I'm a Cat, that you can actually become a cat and play play her lap. That's pretty funny. One or two or three. I think he's just annoying me. He's not reading any of my comments. One or two or three. I'm confused. What are you talking about? One or two or three? What? Uh, One or two or three? Three. And then honestly, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, you feel me? You can go back and look at history. You know, there's been a lot of people who gained power before they were supposed to, and they didn't do nothing but destroy everything around them. You know, so um, you know, if you're not ready for that power yet, don't even try to ask for it. You know, just be patient. Allow yourself to become ready for that kind of power, because the people who rushed that power before in the past, if you look at history, they destroyed everything around them. You feel me? Even if it was already stable as it was, when they got the power, they destroyed everything around them. You know, so because you can still get what you asked for. But let's not get this twisted. You know, you can still get what you asked for, right? But power for a person is not ready for is just destruction. You know, power for a person is not. Can you get all 3 basketball cards? Basketball cards. Ooh, I don't know. If you want to send me that, bro, by all means you can. Let me set up a PO box or something first, and I'll just show them off. I say that, and I'll show them off, and they'll be like special to me because you sent them to me. That'd be pretty cool. And in the last verse here, verse 3, we may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. Right. So, you know, we may throw our hat in there. You feel me? Can I see your pop collection? For sure, I got you, G. I'm gonna show you the ones I still have. Right. So these ones I still have. I'm gonna grab them. Okay. So, but let's go over this one more time, chat. So, receiving power that you're not ready for is just destruction, right? A person who receives power they're not ready for, they usually destroy everything around them. If you don't believe me, look at history. You feel me? Look at history. History don't lie, you know? History doesn't lie. You know? So, if you're not ready for that kind of power, and you know you're not ready for that kind of power, you might as well stop asking for it because you just might get it, you know? You just might get it. And do you want to be the reason for your own destruction? You know? I don't think you do. I don't think you want to be the reason for your own destruction. So, if you're not ready for that kind of power, just stop asking for it. You ain't ready for it, and it's cool to not be ready for something, right? The acceptance of not being ready for something allows you to become ready for something, right? So, just accept that you're not ready for it and do the work to become ready for it. Because if you get it before you're ready, you'll destroy yourself. You'll destroy everything around you because you weren't ready for that. And that'll be my last discussion about today's word, chat. Hope you guys enjoy today's When Your Bible Day, 161 in a row. And then I got the big body Sukuna. You feel me? I got the big body Sukuna, little crazy reflective. The big body Sukuna. I always get the exclusives. You feel me? No matter where it come from, I love the exclusive ones. It just adds a little flair. You feel me? Anybody else who likes Funkos, I'm sure you probably have the same sentiment. Boy, that Sukuna sitting clean up right there. You feel me? Clean. Oh. And I'm gonna go over. That's like really the only villain pop I have. I'm not really a villain guy. You feel me? But I got this Mikasa. You feel me? I feel like she's dope. She's hella dope. One of the dopest females in all of anime. You feel me? You know, a true baddie in all sentiments. You feel me? She's dope. She's driven. I love that. I love dope driven people. And you know, she's hecka dope to me. You feel me? Fire. You feel me? And I like my women strong. I like my women strong. So here we go. Another 2 more dope ones. Kel and Kefla combined. I think. Oh, not. It's just Kefla. The combined fusion of the 2 of them. You feel me? I like Kel and Khalifa because they caught on to the Super Saiyan so fast. They figured it out so fast about like the rising of the energy and how to bring it up, and they did it so fast. Like, oh, that's super dope. I'm not a woman hater, bro. You feel me? So if I find some dope female characters, I'm all for it. You feel me? I'm dead. You should make a gaming channel, a GTRP channel. Facts. I should. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually have a blast with that. That was fun. When I did play GTRP, it was mad fun. Um, but I would have to do it with other people. I would have to find other people to do it with. It's not as fun when you're doing it, but if you do it by yourself, I would have to find a group of people to do it with. Then I got the Hello Kitty joint. You know, this is really for my brother-in-law. I bought this for my brother-in-law, but I just never gave it to him. This is just on my shelf. I bought this for my brother-in-law. Then I got my boy right here, Yusuke, boy. Yusuke Urameshi. That guy, boy. The guy with the he got the dreads now. It's crazy. He got to power up and grew dreads. It's crazy. Like a zombie apocalypse, I have like a job and stuff like that. VRP? They have a GTA VRP? That's a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. But that's that boy Yusuke Urameshi, boy. You know? The boy Hisoka. This boy is insane, boy. Got the diamond version, boy. The diamond, you feel me? Diamond collection, boy. Ooh. The bungee gum. Bungee gum. This guy crazy. He's like kinda weird. But he's dope, bro. He's dope. He's dope. Bungee gum. I love his creativity. His creativity is what really does it for me. I love his creativity for real. Okay, okay, I got you. Get a cold rag, compress it, hold it down, it'll close itself. Hold it down, just don't think about it, just hold it down. Keep constant pressure on it, consistent pressure on it, and it'll close itself. Okay, well that's Ahsoka. You feel me? That's my advice from all my nursing classes I took in high school. All my CNA classes I took. This is my boy Loof, the Luffy. You know, the sticker crazy on this. I'm not gonna lie, but it was the last one. I was like, might as well get it. You feel me? But the boy Loof. Where were you even at? Oh, you over here. Then we got the boy Ook, the gang, the coolest Espada. You feel me? The coolest Espada. The coolest Espada. You feel me? Dwight Schrute from The Office. Oh, I used to have so many The Office Funkos. Because me and my wife, we love The Office. I think I might still have a couple of them. I don't think I sold the ones from The Office. But me and my wife, we love The Office. That was like one of our shows we used to watch when we were first talking. I almost forgot you feel me? You can't forget the Mamoru Uchiha. You feel me? I almost let this guy out. Oof. Dragon Trading exclusive. Glow in the dark. You feel me? That boy clean. With the mask on though. So is it Toby or is it Mamoru? Who knows? Or is it I forgot old boy name. And then we got that boy Spike. Yeah, the Cowboy Bebop joint boy. Spike Spiegel boy. Yes sir, clean. Yeah, iced out rims. Iced out rim glasses, boy. That boy always been clean. With the noodles in his hand. Can't never go wrong with a cup of instant noodles, you feel me? I showed y'all this boy already, the Super Saiyan 3, Goku. My mom bought me this one. So I'm never getting rid of this one. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, so I put the Kefla in the wrong place. That's what it is. I was like, something feels out of place. It's the Kefla. Dragon Ball shelf. And then we got the Luffy Gear 5. You feel me? Yeah, iced out Luffy with the Gear 5. It came with a case, so I was like, bet. I just so happened to find this at Walmart. I was at Walmart. It had a case on it already. I don't know if they did it on purpose or by accident, but they didn't charge me for the case. They didn't charge me for the case. So I got I'm pretty sure I got the case for the free ski. I just paid the normal Funko price. So that was pretty cool. Oh, oh man, you don't like Tyler? Oh, I think said favorite. You mean to say favorite? Okay, yeah. Tyler is fire. Tyler is a fire. He's a really cool artist, definitely. I've been listening to music for the past like 6 years now. I didn't get put on to him until probably like eight, probably 8 years. It's been 8 years since I started listening to Tyler. It's crazy. Um, that's crazy. But yeah, I didn't listen to him early in life, definitely, because he was, But back in the days when Tyler first came out, I had a strange homie. A strange homie. Everybody has a strange homie. Everybody has a strange homie, right? But I had a strange homie, and he used to listen to Tyler, right? And I was like, yep, obviously this is not a guy for me. I'm not listening to the same music as a strange homie, you feel me? So he was cool. He was cool, definitely cool homie, ride or die homie. Um, but he was a strange homie. Everybody has a strange homie, bro. Everybody has a strange homie. Um, so I did not listen to him early on, but then I got put on to later, like later in his career. You come up later in his career. Yeah, no problem, bro. I like how you use the voice filling thing. It's interesting. Um, Hear the birds outside chirping, chirping, chirping. Yeah. Excuse me. Small burp. Excuse me. Um, Dang, who my favorite artist though is J. Cole. Favorite artist is J. Cole. Other favorite artist though is me, definitely. The other favorite artist though is me, definitely. You know, I draw. I'm One day I'm gonna drop an album and it's gonna be so fire. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, my art posters on my walls. You feel me? Every tattoo I have, I drew it. You feel me? Except for the one. I got one tattoo. It's the only tattoo I didn't draw was when I got with my homies when we were in tech school, um, like a friendship tattoo. Because we graduated, we all went through tech school together, graduated together, spent like 8, 9 months together every single day. Um, so we got a gang tattoo for all the homies that was in the gang everybody used to hang out. Um, nah, my wife don't like cats, bro. She's not a cat person. My wife is not a cat person. We're not getting a cat. It's not happening. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's just like not happening, huh? Yeah, my wife is not a cat person. We're not getting a cat. That's one thing I can almost guarantee is not happening. There's a lot of things I probably it's about a lot of things in the world. You can't really decide those things. But one thing I can guarantee is that we're not getting a cat because my wife don't like cats. So yeah, for sure. Oh man, but nothing against your cat, bro. I have no problem with cats. You feel me? But uh, one thing I do know, we're not getting a cat. Oh man. Um, I don't know if anybody watched the UFC fight last night. Right? I don't know. Maybe it's like play fighting. Is it like play fight or are they like serious fighting? Is it like scraps? Is it like really like putting the hands up for real? They like really putting the paws on each other. That you can't tell me that wasn't a funny pun. I deserve at least a like on the stream because that was a funny pun. If you haven't already liked the stream, you feel me? That was a funny pun, bro. That was funny. Oh man, bro. To me, bro, I am hilarious. You know how many times a day I tell jokes to myself, and I be dying laughing. You know how many times a day I do that? It's so funny, bro. How many times a day I tell myself jokes and I'll be the only person laughing? Or you'll be times I tell my mom, my family members, my sisters, my wife, anybody a joke, and I'm the only person laughing. But I am dying. I am dying laughing. It's hilarious. I think my jokes are hilarious, bro. What are you doing, dude? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, little hot dog? What are you doing, little hot dog? Oh, Leo, pretty cool name. As a son, for some reason, he always gets outside and finds other cats. So he looking for. Oh, he wants the action. He's the bully. He's actually the neighborhood bully, and you don't even know it. Your cat is a neighborhood bully, and you don't even know it. You should put a camera on your cat. You know what's funny? I just saw a video the other day about this person who put a camera on their cat, and they found that their cat is a neighborhood bully. That's pretty funny. You just mentioned that. I just saw a video the other day. My wife sent it to me, and the person, the owner, found out their cat is a neighborhood bully. Like the cat just runs out, walks down the road, and bullies other cats. It's just literally just be G checking other cats for no reason. And the other cats be going back in their house when they see that cat coming. It was mad funny. And I got this pop game called Biddy Pop Chase game. It's a Disney and Funko Pops. They have these characters called Maleficents. Yep. They have Dash from The Incredibles. They have Princess Talia and from Disney and Mickey Mouse. Oh, okay. And that's a game. That's a game you can play. It's pretty cool. You know, I try to open Locana packs. I have no idea what's happening in those. It's just I don't understand those. I know it's off topic, but I attempted to open those Locana cards, but I just don't know what's happening in those. You know, I don't really understand what I'm going after. I don't necessarily understand it. It's not like cards just aren't like razzle dazzle. You know, it's not like because they can't come in and try to act like they're Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, and I have no crazy razzle dazzle on their cards. You know, but I don't know. That's a random tangent. That had nothing to do with what you're talking about, but it just came on my mind. um, I just feel good. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. You know, today's chats. Hey, it's great talking to you, David, because you are so cool, bro. But I'm gonna wrap up because I'm gonna go to the gym here soon. Go to the gym here soon. Get me a workout in. You know, keep getting this body right every single day. Oh yes. Keep on doing it. Keep on working, baby. Every day is a step forward. You feel me? Oh man, that's funny. You know, one thing I'm gonna do, chat, and I want y'all to know this, right? For everybody who does watch, yeah, I got that for Easter. The kind of cards, pretty cool. Well, I don't know how I feel about those to be honest. I just don't know what I'm looking for. But um, I'm gonna start making random YouTube shorts, like purposely to doing like stereotypical motivational people things, because I think it's funny. Not to pick. I'm not picking. I'm making fun of myself, because these are literal things I say out loud a lot, and I think it's hilarious when I do. I always laugh at myself when I say this stuff. But I'd be like, you telling the truth, but it's just so funny, you know. It's just really funny. Um, I have the sign that will go on my door. It will say, "Warning: video game in progress. Any unauthorized entry will be eliminated." Facts. No entry. Not first. Hey, I had two little sisters growing up. I had no privacy. One time, my sister broke my door. My little sister broke my door. I locked the door, and I was playing my game, and I didn't want to be bothered, and they banged on my door and broke my door. They broke my door lock. They literally banged on my door to get me to open my door for no reason. They didn't even want anything, but they banged on my door and broke the lock of my door, and nobody ever fixed it. So I never had a. For the rest of the time we stayed in that house, I never had a locked door ever again. No more locked doors, bro. I never had another locked door again, bro. I was able to lock my door ever again, bro. I still want to kick my sister in the head for that. Oh man, it's funny. Oh my goodness. It was not funny at the time, though. I was hot. I said, you did not just break the lock on my door. They did not just break the lock on my door, bro. I don't even know how you broke the lock on my door. It didn't even make sense. But for the rest of the time, my door would not lock. I think the inside, the hinges on the inside broke. And so the locking mechanism stopped working. So, but, you know, yeah, for the rest of the time, though, I didn't have a locked door ever again. It was so tough. No more privacy, bro. Ever again, bro. It was crazy. But I am going to slide, though, chat. I'm going to slide. I'm finna get up out of here and give me a workout, bro. Go give me a workout. Get these gains. Yes. If y'all want to see workout streams or just you want to hang out, chat while I'm working out or whatever, y'all let me know by commenting on the videos and letting me know if y'all want to see that, right? But if y'all want me to work out, but then also stream and chat with y'all at the same time, then let me know. I'm not gonna I just want y'all to know I'm not trying to show you how to work out. I'm not a physical fitness trainer. You feel me? I just like to work out. You know, I like to do that. You feel me? It's peaceful. It's therapeutic. You know, but if y'all want to come out, y'all want to chat, we can chat up or whatever. That's cool, right? But don't be over here, telling me how to work out. Don't be trying to tell me how to work out. You feel me? Because I'm not listening. I work out based on my body and how my body feels. Where I feel what my body feels like it wants to work on. So that's what I do. So, but if y'all want to hang out and chat while I work out and stuff sometimes, that's cool. Just let me know. You feel me? And the only way you're gonna let me know you do by that is if you do it on the videos. You feel me? What's up? What's good with you, Kenny? And dude, you should play this game called Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I'll play it one time. There's a DLC that's for free. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Ruin. Okay. I'm sure your text-to-speech they messed up. But what's up, Kenny, man? How you doing? Kenny fan? You're a fan of Kenny? You're a fan of Kenny. Kenny fan. But yeah, y'all let me know if y'all want to chat while I work out. By just leaving a comment on the video or something to let me know what y'all want me to do. I work out every single day. You feel me? So I'm going to get my workout in. Do you feel me? And if y'all want to see that in the future, for sure. But I just want to reiterate, I am not a fitness. I'm not your fitness coach. I'm not nobody's fitness guru. I just like to work out because it's therapeutic and it feels amazing to me, right? It's relaxing to me. And if y'all want to enjoy the relaxing space that I create for myself during that time and y'all want to chat, then by all means, let me know. And there is a slime bowl that Dai heard in the internet saying that he killed Bonnie and his Foxy. His name is Monty, but you can steal his claws, which his legs, and that's what I did because I hate him. David, you're funny, bro. I'm not gonna lie. David, you're funny, bro. Heard the internet. I met. That's pretty, I know. I get what you mean, bro. But I am going to slide though. I've said this 3 or 4 times now, but this time I mean it. We don't get that limitless core, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. Thank you for joining me for another stream on the channel. What's up, Niche? You didn't get the notification. Okay, Niche, I'm gonna drop the knowledge on you that we talked about today then real quick. Before we slide, I'm gonna drop what we talked about today, right, Niche? We talked about Acts today. In our Acts verse today, it was 7:30 to 50. And it was about when God has been leading your path this whole time, there's no reason to turn to other false gods to look for their help. They're not going to help you, right? Love my haircut. Appreciate it. Ooh, clean, spicy. I appreciate the compliment, bro. I do need a fresh fade, though. This fade is like 2 weeks old. But appreciate it. Right, so when God has been helping you this whole time, there's no reason to turn to somebody else and not like somebody else is going to do the same thing God has been doing, right? The other thing that we talked about is these other these other deities, these other entities or whatever people be creating or whatever, they're human made, right? God is not a human made thing, right? Humans didn't make God. God made humans. But these other deities that people are worshiping, these other things that people are worshiping, they're human made things. So what is going to happen when you worship a human made thing, right? It's going to be a limiting belief. It's going to be a conditional love source. And I didn't say unconditional, I said conditional. Conditional love source. And it's going to be a source of judgment in your life. It's going to be a source of judgment in your life. You feel me? So there's a lot of information on the internet. There's a lot of things on the internet, but I would fully let you know to not listen to none of that stuff that's on the internet. Right? None of it. not none of it. It's a waste of time. That these things that people are creating are human made creations, and they're going to be limited in some way. And not because they're made by humans, but because they're being made without God in it, right? So anything that's made without God is a limited thing, right? And that's why I say a human-made thing is going to be a limit. A human-made God is going to be a limited thing, because anything made without God is going to be limited, right? So it's going to be a limited. It's going to be a limited energy. It's going to be a source of judgment in your life, because whenever you talk to the people who believe in all these other things, right? They always talk about it like it's some form of judgment in their life. It's always some form of judgment in their life, and it's conditional love. So they feel like they have to appease whatever this is in order to receive love, right? God, real God, right? God don't act like that, right? God is an unconditional source of love, right? It's God. God is not judgment. You feel me? God is love. You feel me? So, hey, that's why I refuse to believe in any of that other stuff, because why would I believe in that stuff? If it's a lower tier, if it's lower tier than God, why would I believe in that stuff? You know, I don't need anything else. There's enough humans in the world that try to judge me every single day. I don't need some figment of my imagination trying to judge me. So I don't need another source of conditional love in my life. You feel me? And I don't need a limiting belief I don't need a limiting belief. You feel me? Because that's just what it is. It's not because of anything else. It's just because that deity has a certain level of power in your mind, which becomes a limiting belief. It has nothing to do with gods or none of that stuff, but whatever you believe in is your peak. Whoever you believe created you is your peak. Whoever you worship is your peak. That is that, and you can't dispute that. You can't dispute that statement. Whoever you believe in is your peak. That's your peak. Whoever you believe in is your peak. And if you believe in somebody with limited capabilities, then come on now. It ain't rocket science. I ain't gonna lie. It's not rocket science. I ain't gonna hold you. It's not rocket science. So, yeah. So that's what we talked about today from Acts 7:30 through 50. It's not to judge anybody. It's not judge. It's just the truth, to be honest. And then we talked about patience from Proverbs today. So the proverb today was about patience. And patience and power, right? It's better to have patience than to be powerful, right? Because power, when you're not ready for power, is just destruction. A person who receives power that's not ready for power will destroy everything around them. They're going to destroy everything around them, and they're not going to know why they destroyed everything around them. But it's because they got something they weren't ready for, right? And we also talked about not asking for things that you're not ready to receive. Right, that's another thing that we talked about from today's proverb was not ask for things that you're not ready to receive, because it's just like getting power it's just like getting power, right? If you're not ready to get that power, that new authority and that new seat, you're going to destroy it. You're going to destroy it. You're going to destroy it and you and everything else around you. Hey. Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy you getting something from the word, Niche. Um, so it's going to be on the channel. So if you want to go back and watch or listen to it, for sure, go ahead and do that. Um, yeah, power. When you're not ready for power, you're just going to destroy yourself and everything around you, right? That's why you should be patient. So like that's why patience is key here. If there is something you do aspire to have in life, then build yourself to be ready for that, right? That's the patience aspect of it. It takes patience to build yourself to be ready for something, right? Um, Getting power too early uh, will just definitely just lead to destruction. It just leads to destruction. Um, and To combat that is to learn how to be patient. You if you asking for it, you will receive it. So now be patient and do the work to get ready for it, right? Because it's all everything is just waiting on you anyways. There is nothing in your way other than you getting ready for it, right? And sometimes you still get it even when you're not ready for it. But those times are usually lessons. When you get something when you're not ready for it, it's usually just a lesson, right? Um, for next time in your life to get ready for it, right? So um, that was a funny laugh outside. I'm not gonna lie, that was a crazy laugh. Um, you know, so um, just be patient, get ready, be ready for it, be ready for that moment. At that point, it's just all on you. So, uh, um, so uh, that was funny, bro. I'm like thinking about that laugh now. I was just wondering what was so funny. I just wonder what was so funny about that. That was funny. Um, um, but yeah, patience. The patience is way more valuable than power. Patience is way more valuable than power. So um, if you're asking for something you're not ready for, stop asking for it. Get ready. Just now what you need to do is to be patient and to become ready. Be the person that you know you need to be for this time. It's the same thing that all these books say, right? It's just in shorter words. You don't got to read the whole book to get the answers. You know, um, um, so um, now you start to get ready to become that thing that you're asking for. You didn't get it yet because you weren't ready for it. God don't want you to destroy yourself. He already taught you a lesson probably once before in your life, and He don't want you to go do it again. You're actually being protected, but you just get mad because it's not happening yet. Well, God is literally protecting you from yourself. You know, if you're asking for something you ain't got it yet, that just means you're not ready for it yet. So just get ready. Uh, and that takes patience, and that's why patience is important, right? Because then if you don't have patience, you'll just get mad because God ain't did it yet. Why you ain't did it yet? I've been there before, you know. I've been there before, you know. Um, but that's God protecting you from yourself. That's you being protected from yourself. You're being protected from yourself because God knows He gonna give it to you, and you gonna destroy yourself with it. You know, so um, so just if it's not happening, it's not happening for a reason. You're being protected. You've already learned this lesson before, and God don't want to have to teach you the same lesson twice. You know, um, that's why God is so unconditionally loving. He don't make you go through and go through that same pain multiple times. He's being grace. He's being you don't see it, but God is being graceful with you by not giving you what you ask for because He knows you're not ready for it because He knows what you do with it, right? Um, and that's love, bruh. Somebody who don't love you for real will just give it to you. Will just give it to you even though you're not ready for it. That's somebody who don't love you because he knows that they would know that you're gonna do something bad with it or do something destructive with it, and they will give it to you anyways. That's not somebody that loves you. That's somebody that's waiting was plotting on your downfall. So, you feel me? So um, just remind yourself if you didn't get something you asked for, then get ready for it, right? It's not because it's not gonna happen. It's not because that's not the reason. That's not the reason why at all. It's because you just need to become ready. They may require you being more patient with yourself and come into the conclusion of what you need to do to become ready for it, right? Um, and that patience is key. Patience is way more valuable than power. Power can be destructive. So, um, and that's really what our word was today. So I hope you got what you needed from that niche. Um, And thank you for showing up and joining regardless. You feel me? Um, I appreciate your presence as always. You feel me? So late or early, don't matter to me, right? But let's hit this outro because I'm about to go get me a workout in the gym. Also, I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all want me to work out and chat with y'all? They won't be like I'm not a fitness guru, you know. I'm just a dude who likes to work out for therapeutic reasons. It's like good for me, good for my spirit, good for my body, you know. But y'all just have y'all to chat with while I'm working out. Don't be looking at me for no fitness advice. You know, I'm gonna tell you, you know, to to just go harder. So don't be asking me for fitness advice. I'm gonna just tell you to push past your limits. That's all I'm gonna say. You know. So, but if y'all just want to chat and some more time for us to just hang out and chat with each other or whatever, um, so I will begin doing that. Today I'm have some time with myself though. Today I'm not gonna stream today in the gym. I'm just spend some time with myself today. I just want to spend some time with me today. But for in the future, we'll start doing the hangout sessions in the gym. You know, just chatting and working out. Nothing crazy, nothing out off the wall. Just chatting and working out. But let's hit this outro. We all got that limitless core, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. Hey, I appreciate you for waking up today. I appreciate you for getting up today. I appreciate you for giving it another go on another day that you get to be here again. So, and I also appreciate your presence as always. It's always the most valuable thing you can give me. And I truly appreciate that. You have a great rest of your day. I'm having a great rest of mine, you know, and I'm gonna see you next time. Peace.